Hello, happy Saturday, not Friday. Yes, I have been missing for the past two Friday reads, but we're just gonna make it up all in one go. Um, life, life happens. So we're just gonna have one big giant weekend reads, Saturday reads, of what I have finished since we last spoke, what I am in the middle of, and then I have some library books and I have some book haul books. Bought them not too long after we last spoke, it seems. So we will get into that. They are related. The book haul books are related to June on the Range, which I feel like I have failed spectacularly at, but I am still participating. That's what counts. The thing with these themed months is I have these grand, wonderful plans, and because I am a mood reader, it doesn't always work out that way. So I'm just going to do, if you want to jokingly say July on the Range, there's Phoebe, or Summer on the Range, and just extend it through the end of August. I will end up finishing two before the end of the month, but I didn't get to as many as I had intended. So I have enjoyed seeing everybody's videos on what they have been reading. I know Steve has put out a ton of June on the Range videos of what he has read. So those are fun. Criminale has some, Michael K. Vaughn. You guys know, if you participate with this particular June on the Range, you know those names. You know who's been chugging along and devoting their whole month to June on the Range. So we'll just say Summer on the Range and leave it at that. We'll start out with what I have finished since last time. I had mentioned that I was starting Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, which is the booktube darling. Everybody and their brother has been raving about it, that it's the best book that they've read all year, the best book that they have read in a long time, and I am okay if I'm an outlier. I thought it was absolutely terrible. Here it is. If you've never seen it, I feel like if you're anywhere in the book community, you've seen that. So confusing. I'm not going to be long-winded about it. It is new adults, which is to say it's not new adult. It is basically young adult, and the author has written these characters to be in their 20s, and it's very much 13-14-year-olds, and it's supposed to be fantasy, and everything is F this, F that, modern language. It just doesn't fit. There's some of the things, like it's supposed to be medieval fantasy, loosely medieval fantasy, and wearing shorts to bed, and like it's just a lot of stuff does not click, does not make sense. The dragons were fine in it, whatever, but it was absolutely terrible. Like, I have a review on my Goodreads of it, and I basically said if Colleen Hoover wrote Dragon Fantasy, like it was terrible. And I'm sorry if you like Colleen Hoover. I absolutely hate Colleen Hoover. So to each their own. I'm excited that Colleen Hoover has gotten people back into reading. I know some people that had gone for years and years and never picked up a book. They picked up Colleen Hoover and fell back in love with reading, which I'm excited for, but she is not my cup of tea. I'm not going to go on Fourth Wing, but if you are not into fantasy, if you are not into dragons, if you are not into young characters, new adult characters, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. I also finished One by One by Frida McFadden. It was very much cabin in the woods. Going to a cabin in the woods, one by one, everybody gets offed, wraps up in the end. It's Frida. It's enjoyable. Her books are fast. And then this one, Fifth Avenue Glamour Girl by Renee Rosen, was cute. 4 stars. We'll go back a little bit. Fourth Wing, 1 star is generous. One by One, 3 stars. It gave what it was supposed to. Fifth Avenue Glamour Girl, 4 stars. One of the main characters is like, it's her personality. So that's why I knocked it down a star, which seems unfair, but I'm very stingy with my 5 stars, if you don't know that about me already. It's basically historical fiction of Estee Lauder and how she came to be. If you don't know who Estee Lauder is, I feel like that name, everybody knows it, but she's the name that you see at the makeup counter at any department store, high-end store. It was good. I had checked it out from the library and kept renewing it so many times that I could not renew it again, and it was, you have to finish it. And I finished it at like 5 o'clock the day it was, 5 p.m. the day it was due, and the library closed at 7. So I had to rush and take it back. And of course, that meant that I got more books, but it's cute. If you like historical fiction, like women's historical fiction, it's cute. And then this one, my friend Amy and I are doing a yearly reading challenge. Every month has a particular theme. You only read one book. It's nothing major. So we both forgot about this challenge until a couple of days ago, and it was read a book set in any other country or any other place in the world. And I have one from the library, but I knew I was just not going to finish it in time. So I went on Scribd. I found that I had saved, back when Queen Elizabeth passed away, I had saved a bunch of her books, and this one was The Final Curtsy, a Royal Memoir by the Queen's Cousin by Margaret Rhodes. So, I mean, it was at triple speed audiobook, 2 hours, if that. So that fulfilled my challenge. 3 stars. It was fine. I mean, if you know about the royal family, it's pretty much just rehashing information. So those are the 4 that I have finished since the last video. Nothing entirely spectacular. Currently reading, I have 5 going. Yes, 5. 2 of the June on the Range, which I'll show you. One of which is part of the book haul. There is Molly, Black and White Molly. And brief stop in the past 6 weeks. No, I'm not getting sad and dramatic, but about 6 or 7 weeks ago, Zeus, I adopted Zeus when he was little. When I got married and moved, I left him with my mom just so she wasn't alone. So she had Zeus and Diva, and then when she passed away, I brought them home with me. Zeus, we had noticed, had been having coughing fits, and kind of thought maybe it was asthma or whatnot. And it kind of got worse. And then there was one day my husband was like, he is panting. He's having a hard time breathing. And so we took him to an emergency vet, which, if you're in the States and you have an emergency vet, you're going to spend a lot of money. And ended up taking to the emergency vet. We were there until like 5 o'clock in the morning and just exhausted. And it turned out they're like, it's either cancer of some sort, or more likely congestive heart failure. He was 15. He was a big boy his whole life. So we did what was the best, and the vet agreed. She had a cat in the situation. We could not put him through having to transport him to another vet. He was only stable in an oxygen tent. It would be very costly. And while I miss him and said to my husband yesterday, I wish he was still here with us, it was the right thing to do, because they said even with that, it would have given him less than 6 extra months to live. So unfortunately, he passed away. And then about 3 weeks ago, Diva, the older, she was about 17. She was just very thin, having a hard time walking around. That day, we noticed she was having trouble jumping, laying on her side, which she was not one to do, and took her to the vet, and sadly, we lost her as well. So we are down to 3. So if you see them traipsing around in my videos, we have William, we have Phoebe, we have Molly. We still have a full house, but it's just a little bit quieter around here, and we miss them, but that is the nature of having pets. You have to go through that grief, and I'm not gonna cry. Been there, done that. But we know what to expect, especially when they have long lives. They both had 15 and 17 years. They were well loved, well taken care of. Like I said, it's just a little bit quieter. But anyways, we'll do this one since I already had it. I bought it for $1. I know you guys have heard me talk about it. The Drift Fence by Zane Grey. This is one of my... I'm a little bit further. I have the ebook that I'm reading too, because that makes sense. The Drift Fence, and then Riders of the Purple Sage. This one I have on audiobook. Again, totally makes sense. I should finish this one this weekend. Drift Fence, again, sometime by the end of the month. And the others that I am reading are getting ready to start. Lake of the Ozarks by Bill Geist. I am more than halfway through. I don't know if that you can see the bookmark. It's nostalgic. It's good. I'm enjoying it. This one I've got to buckle down on. Happy Place by Emily Henry. I waited for it forever from the library, and now I'm down to having like 5.5 days to complete this book because I cannot renew it. So I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a Fifth Avenue Glamour Girls situation where I'm like counting down to the wire, reading down to the wire to finish it. I think once I start it, I'm going to plow through because that's normally how I am with Emily Henry books. And then the other one, I have the audiobook I'm starting. It's Quietly Hostile by Samantha Irby. I've waited for it for a while. The audiobook came in, which I had just requested that the library get a physical copy. So now I'm going to feel bad because I will have completed it, but it's fine. I was hemming and hawing about buying it, and I'm glad that I waited because now I can read it for free. And then I'll do my library books and then my book haul books because we are at 12 minutes and we know I'm long-winded. So we have same author as the Fifth Avenue Glamour Girls. I liked her writing style, so I went and looked to see what the library had available in physical form. And we have Windy City Blues by Renee Rosen. And this one takes place in the middle of the 20th century. Music of the Mississippi Delta arrived in Chicago, drawing the attention of entrepreneurs like the Chess Brothers. So, Motown. And then we have What the Lady Wants, a novel of Marshall Field and the Gilded Age by Renee Rosen. That one is pretty self-explanatory, Gilded Age. And this one is Floppy, which I love. This one I just happened to see in their new releases. It's 125 pages, and there's lots of like short chapters, so I should finish it quickly. But it's The Farmhouse Behind the Bakery by Kim Peterson. It's like an indie press, Fulton Books, which is out of Fulton, Georgia. I read the first page or so, and it seems good. Southern setting, which I really like, so I'm interested to see. Like I said, it's really short. And then The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. I had this one borrowed from the library, audiobook. Didn't get around to it, of course. I could not renew it because it was the hot mystery at the time. I think it came out last year. No, it came out this year. So it is still fairly new. So this one, if I have to renew it, I can. All of these I can renew because I just got them on some of them Thursday and then some Thursday before. The Italian Ballerina by Christy Cambron, if that's how you say her name. This one is World War II historical fiction set in Rome. This was going to be my June book challenge for Read a Book set in another country, but I didn't know if I would finish it by the end of June, so maybe, but we'll still get to it. And this one was completely random. Like, getting ready to leave, saw it, and I was like, okay. The Tea Olive Bird Watching Society by Augusta Trobaugh. Have never in my life heard of it, but it is a southern setting. It says women of a small town's bird watching society secretly plan to eliminate the husband of one of their members in this modern spin on the classic film Arsenic and Old Lace. And I mean, down here it says, in a story replete with coconut cake, grits, and poisoned turtle stew, Beulah and Zion attempt to do away with the judge while always remaining unfailingly polite. And it's short too, so cute on that. And then this one again, completely random. Farm Girl, a Wisconsin memoir by Buna Coburn Carlson. And it's another one of those indie press. Well, actually, University of Wisconsin Press. You know, the first thing I was like, hey, is that a woodpecker? Yes, it's a woodpecker. But it's one that has lots of her family pictures in it, so it will not take long at all to finish. It Great Depression. So historical, if you want to say. I mean, it's a memoir. And then The Cat and the Christmas Tree and Other Stories of Feline Joy and Merry Mischief by Callie Smith Grant. No, it is not Christmas, but if I wait a week, we can just do Christmas in July. And honestly, I still have Christmas presents over there I have not given to a friend from last year. That is shameful. Shameful. And I'm sorry, this hair is driving me crazy. This I actually saw at the used bookstore when I bought these others that I'm going to talk about. And I was thinking, yeah, do I get it? Do I not? Do it? Because I had already had like $50 worth of books. And I was like, no. Maybe if it's here next time, I'll get it. And it was meant to be that I said no. So again, this one is really short. Revel. I don't think that is indie. It could be, but short stories. And then these are all June on the Range. And there was an agreement. I went specifically. It was after an appointment to pick up my glasses. Went specifically for Riders of the Purple Sage. There were a couple of copies that were prettier than this. However, I liked this font better, which is moot at this point since I'm listening to the audio. But I have it in case I want to reread it. So this was my intention. This. And if anyone is of the same variety as me, best intentions are one book and leave. No. And if you can hear that, that is the sea shanty that plays when my laundry is done. So I have, like I said, I had 16, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So here are the other 15. Again, only one I wanted. And then apparently this particular bookstore owner goes and does a lot of estate sales and book buyouts. So she's got stock all the time and she gets old stock. And that's something that I immediately, if I see something like this, my eyes are drawn to it. I didn't get all of them. I had to choose the ones I wanted the most. And the agreement was, and he may watch this, and I love you. I'm glad that you enjoy your deal. You're into the bargain. So it was, if you get all of these books, I get to have fish tanks. So he got fish tanks out of the deal because I spent $50 on old books. They are all, every single one of them are Zane Grey. And I lied. One of these I pulled off of a stack from a while back. It's not Zane Grey. I'll show it to you anyways. I don't know how it came over here. So I had a total of 14. This is Love Come Last by Taylor Caldwell. I think it was just because I had it in the living room where I was thumbing through it. So there's that. Just kidding. Strike that. Okay. These 2, 3 are the same publisher, same style. So we have The Drift Fence. Sound familiar? Totally forgot. Even though I'm reading it, I totally forgot. I was just like excited that it was this kind of matchy match. So we have The Drift Fence, The Lost Wagon Train, and The Hash Knife Outfit. All Zane Grey, all with the horse on the front. I'm not sure. It's going to be really hard to see that. And I don't think that these were anything. No names. Some of them have names written in them, which was part of why I bought them. So, no. This one used to be from St. Mary Elementary School in Royal Oak, Michigan. So, there were some from a tent sale or bargain room sale that were from Michigan. So I'm leading to believe she got some kind of something there. Estate sale, I don't know. We have Desert Gold by Zane Grey. This one has, I'm not sure what color it would have been at one point before it fizzled out. But this was from the library of O.L. Seymour. And some of these, why I got them, I mean, they were Zane Grey and I wanted them, but this book was produced under wartime conditions in full compliance with government regulations for the conservation of paper and other essential materials. It is complete and unabridged. So there are several that I got that are wartime prints. Then we have, I think this one's probably one of my favorite, even though it's my least favorite color. I'm thrilled with it. Nevada by Zane Grey, and it has the horse and rider and on the spine, and we'll say that was purple at some point. This one was also the same person, O.L. Seymour. It is also a wartime printing. Then we have Forlorn River. This one actually still had a dust jacket, and it had a bookmark in it from Wonder Books and Video in Frederick, Maryland. Don't know if it still exists, but I have the book quote on the back of it. This one is also a wartime printing. We have Wildfire. It's black, and this one was O.L. Seymour. Also wartime printing. I don't know that there was a name. Yep, same person. If anybody knows who O.L. Seymour was, The Call of the Canyon. And this one was same person. The Shepherd of Guadalupe by Zane Grey, obviously. And this one was Thomas Comfort in Ferndale, Michigan. And I don't think this one was wartime. It was not. Then we have The Forlorn Bridge and Thomas Comfort, 1665 Morehouse, Ferndale, Michigan. We have Majesty's Rancho. This one was O.L. Seymour again. We have the Maverick Queen. Nothing on the front. And this one was Thelma Comfort. And she was 18710 Bradford in Detroit, Michigan. Sister, mother, don't know, but it was the same name. Has to be if it was in the same group. Knights of the Range. O.L. Seymour. And the last one. 30,000 on the hoof. And this one was Thomas Comfort. And Thomas and Thelma was that Thelma. Theirs were not all wartime printings, but those all get added to my collection. So I'm going to have to find a shelf to clear off. Maybe one in here, I'm not sure. And add all those to my old book collection. I have a lot to read. I mean, if you didn't already know and have not seen any of my previous videos about book hauls, but let me know, have you read any of these? Did you participate in June on the Range? If so, what did you read? Have you had a good reading year? Has it been slow? Has it been exceeding expectations? Are you just kind of winging it, not worrying about it? Let me know. I'm definitely going to wait. Let's see what time it is. My groceries are coming in about a half an hour, so put those away. Go put the laundry in the dryer. Dinner, it's like I have a plan, but then I'm like, I don't know if I'll be in the mood for it. Meatloaf has been on my brain this morning, today. I don't know why. So maybe meatloaf. Don't know. No clue. And maybe see if I can get a chunk of the Emily Henry book read this upcoming week at work. Knock on wood. I should know better than to open my mouth, but I have busted hump to get everything finished early. So other than a couple of things, a couple of meetings, my schedule is pretty open so that I can and maybe get through a couple of audiobooks. We'll see. Like I said, I can't say anything because if you do that, if you put that out into the universe, something's going to happen. So we will see. If you guys are having ugly weather, it was in the 70s, like low 70s for a couple of days. We have the heat on a lot still, which in East Tennessee for June, end of June, is wacky, wild. But I think that's pretty much done and over with. I for sure have the air on today. It's stuffy, so let's have storms the next couple of days, but it's to be expected. Um, Getting excited. I will have the third off. Excuse me, the fourth. Where'd the third come from? I will have the fourth off, obviously. And then we are going on a trip for my birthday. Same old, same old. If you've been with me for a long time, we will be going to Charleston. Have some much needed time away. We didn't go anywhere last year, and like we joke around, it's our eat vacation. We have a list of places that we want to eat at and go to the beach, and that's pretty much it. And that's what vacation should be. No expectations, no rules. Just do what you want to do, what you're in the mood for. But I will stop rambling since this is 26 minutes. I don't know if anybody's going to watch 26 minutes. But again, let me know what you're reading. And I hope you guys have a good weekend. And if all turns out as planned and I have that relaxed week, you may see me in 6 days for Friday reads again. But I will talk to you guys later. See ya.